Bingo bango. What's up, everybody? Now it's Tony's Topics. Hey, what's up, Magnus and Cali? I'm in Jersey. Listen, the 1980s rock and roll band era. Who were the best bands of the 1980s? Let's go, baby. Magnus, my first one out of the gate. Have you ever heard of the band Motley Crue?
Yeah, of course. I actually got their second album that I think went gold pretty quickly in the sense that I think that's when they kind of that was the major breakthrough,
Yeah.
which Shout at the Devil and all those songs.
Home, yeah.
So that's one of my earliest albums that I got, and I remember my next door neighbors, they basically got it off, like they played it off and got it on their cassette tapes and stuff like that. So yeah, no, that was a popular album growing up for sure.
Yeah. Okay. No,
and I was somewhere in my, could ever been, I don't know, I'm in elementary or something like that. So yeah.
All right. So what was an album or group that you liked in the 80s rock and roll?
So when it comes to, it's because it's so wide, and also my sister had a huge influence on me or what I listened to. I can tell you, like when I really started to like music and like listen to it more myself, that was actually rap music, and that came a couple of years later for me. Yeah. But I would say one of the bands that I like a huge influence on me still, and also like from Europe was U2.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, I never got into U2, and they were technically an 80s band. They got popular in the late 80s.
Yeah.
I know they're talented. I don't know. I never got into U2, but they're huge. I mean.
Yeah, no, I mean, and my sister started to listen to them early, so before they got their major breakthrough and things like that. So yeah, but yeah, no, it's
more into like the heavy metal though.
Yeah, I would say that they got like, they always had a huge fan group following them, but really, I think it was like later on, like you said, late 80s when they really got through.
No, I like Van Halen.
I was just gonna say, if we're going back to more rock or hard rock, that would be Van Halen for me.
Hard rock, metal.
Yeah, that would be Van Halen for me as well.
Yeah, loved Van Halen. Loved Europe. That's your neck of the woods there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. That was our pride and joy. Like when it comes to like hard rock.
Your country?
Yeah, they're from Sweden. Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. No, I mean, and it's funny because my sister and her friend got into one of their video. You know, like the crowd, like video. Yeah. So yeah, they're so wait, my sister's actually.
You must have thought Europe was your Jesus Christ. Like you guys
they were
loved.
Like again, Swedes we're used to like exporting music and have like ABBA and things like that. So once ABBA kind of came around, it became more like, well, we can do it, and a lot of
Europe
people
must have been huge in Sweden.
They were huge in Europe, I would say, and I would say stateside as well too. So they
were huge in America.
Yeah.
But I mean, since they're from your country, they
must have been amazing, Once they made it big, they were like, they were like walking on water.
Yeah.
No, it's
Riot.
Yeah. No, that's another one. Like looking at it a little bit more. Also, other bands that are more traditional rock, I would say. I mean, what else could it be? Queen would probably be a big Queen. Well, the British band Queen,
Queen was kind of late 70s, a little bit of early 80s.
Early 80s, yeah, but they were popular. They were popular throughout the 80s as well too.
Early 80s, early to like 84, 85.
Yeah, but then when did Freddie die? That was like I think that was around that was like some like 86 or something like that. Not.
But Queen's sound is not the sound of 80s rock like Bon Jovi is, Van Halen.
No. It's more. I would say that Queen is more
classic rock 70s.
Yeah, and more like when we're looking at it, like show things like that going on. Yeah, for sure. But when like other than that, let me see. I would say what's their name again? I'm thinking of they have a British
Poison.
drummer.
I love Def Leppard.
Yes, Def Leppard was what I was thinking of. Def Leppard was you should, but then also like we can go like we have other bands like you know like British. Then we're talking like Motorhead. We're
But
talking
yeah,
about
that's not really 80s per se, but yeah.
no, they were famous in the 80s, early
No,
80s.
I know they were, but
Yeah.
like they weren't. I don't know how it was in Europe, but in America on MTV, did they have MTV in Sweden?
Yes.
Was
Yeah,
there
but we
MTV
came.
in
Wait,
America?
but we had a European version, so you need to understand that I'm coming from a European,
Yeah,
so
you
I'm
had your
not.
own thing.
It's
Yeah.
not. Yeah. So ours
Well,
is
that's what I
not
was
just
saying.
U.S. centered. So
Right.
that's
Well,
the
that's
thing.
what I'm saying because Motorhead was not popular in America in the 1980s MTV era. Hell no,
Yeah.
nobody listened to Motorhead. Now it might have been different in Europe, but yeah,
No, no,
here.
for sure. That's why I bring it up, and that's why I also saying like Queen, for instance, probably way more popular in Europe than stateside too.
Well,
Even if they
maybe
were
in the
very
80s,
popular.
70s, Queen was very popular in America.
But Queen was huge. Queen was huge during the 80s as well too, because if you're looking at it, they had with the Live Aid and everything like that was kind
Oh
of the
yeah,
back
no,
end,
like 80,
and then and
81,
then and then
82.
their later albums was huge, and they would get played a lot on MTV
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well
yeah.
too. So that's
America too.
yeah. So that's why I just think that they're still like an
Late
80s.
80s, like 87, 88, 89.
Yeah,
There was no more
but
Queen. It
then
was
then
over.
like looking at other things as well too that are fun. Then like when we're looking into it, that's got to be like late 80s, early 90s. Then Metallica start to make it big as well
Well,
too.
Metallica, yeah, started making
Yeah,
their way. Yeah, like yeah,
yeah.
86, 87.
Yeah, so that was late. That was
Seek
late,
and
and then going
Destroy,
in.
Ride the Lightning,
Yes, exactly.
Ozzy
And then
Osbourne,
yeah, Aussie, and then before that, then you have Black Sabbath before
which
that. But
is
that is also
late
more
70s.
70s. Yeah, but Aussie as a solo artist, yeah, he was big too
Oh, I
when
love
it comes to
Ozzy.
rock.
So Crazy Train. Also,
Yeah,
Van Halen with David Lee Roth and Van Halen with Sammy Hagar was two Van Halens in the 80s.
two
I like.
different, completely two different bands depending on who was
Oh
the
yeah,
lead
yeah.
singer. Yeah,
I
because
love
it's
Sammy.
so
Yeah,
funny. David Lee Roth is more party music. It's like about having fun and things like
100%.
that. And
Yeah,
then
100%.
when David's when
Sammy,
what's his name? Yeah, when he
more love
started,
ballads.
that was way more love
Yep.
ballads, aches and
Yep.
pains, like like
Yep.
heartaches and all that stuff.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's
no,
just
I was all
funny.
about that.
Yeah, yeah, and that is also like brings us like because they were like when like 1980 84 the album, they also brought in a lot of their like synthesizer stuff too
Yes,
because
that's when synth got big.
yeah, because electronic music was huge in Europe. Like
Yeah,
we're talking about it like and I think it was like especially like we're talking about Britain for sure, but yeah, no, like Sweden too. We listen to a lot of British band in Sweden, I would say. So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, no.
no,
Did you guys know about Winger? I used to love Winger.
yeah, yeah. No,
Kip
it's not
Winger,
maybe not
17.
like a huge
They
band,
weren't
but yeah,
huge in America either, but they
yeah,
had a couple hits.
yeah,
Nixon, Lita
yeah.
Ford.
Then Poison was
I
huge
love.
too.
I've seen them
Yeah,
live five times.
that
Love them.
the glam rock.
Love them.
What
Love them.
else?
I loved. Shoot,
What's
they
his
had
name? What's his name with D Schneider?
Twisted Sister.
Twisted Sister was you. I
Big
Want to
fan. They're
Rock.
from New York.
Yeah,
Big
I Want
fan
to
of
Rock.
them.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
it's funny. It's funny how they were like, oh, they're or do you remember Wasp as well?
Yeah. Wasp. Striper. Love the
Stripe,
Christian group.
yes.
The Christian group Striper was good.
Yeah, but
Wasp. You
Wasp
have one
was
or
like
two
it was
songs.
fun. It was the same thing. Like also now with D Schneider, he's like super like into religion, Christianity, and things like that.
Oh
So
really?
it's just yeah, no, it's super funny. And they were like labeled, so like oh, they're so bad for
Yeah.
the youth.
I've seen all of these bands, dude. I've seen them all, and they were great.
Yeah, and I
Actually,
went to see when I was up in Portland. So it's a bunch of years. So it's over 8 years ago. Then we went to see a bunch of that was like Poison, and I think it was like Def Leppard and
Journey,
something else.
Journey,
Yeah, Journey was huge
and
too. I mean, that is
late
also I
70s,
would
early
say yeah, that was late like they had a big
79,
through like yeah
80s.
70s and then like call it what you want too, but Kiss and also they gone through
Well, this was late 70s or early to mid 80s. Yeah.
but then they changed when they actually got without their makeup. That was like late 80s, and then so they changed a little bit
They
as
were
well
in the 80s.
too.
They had a lot of videos out there.
Yeah, no, so it's funny. It's just funny how that changed over time as well too. Like and also like the bands reinvent themselves.
Kiss did for sure, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and
You know what
I
I
think
mean?
that I think that's important. I mean, that's why you see certainty they're able to stay on for that long. Madonna was another
Yeah.
one that has been
Well, she's
constantly.
a pop
She's
artist, but
yeah,
yeah.
no, but she, like just yeah, I was saying like an artist that she has changed throughout so many,
Oh well,
like
yeah, you have
reinvent
to adapt.
herself. Yeah,
But grunge basically took all that shit away, and everyone went to Pearl
yeah,
Jam.
grunge. Yeah, that then we're
I was
talking about early
not a fan of
'90s.
Pearl Jam. Not a fan of grunge.
I can say I'm actually a fan of, you don't remember, this is high school years for me. So Nirvana when they break through, but actually like I would say that I'm a big fan of Pearl Jam, to be honest. And I've been
Oh
to
really?
one of the best live shows I ever been to. I can tell you that. That
Really?
was like, yeah, that was close to 3.5 hours nonstop
Bro, I hated
hits.
all '90s bands. I hated it all. I couldn't stand any of the grunge. I couldn't stand it.
Remember, like now we're talking about it. For me, it's like late '80s going into '90s. This is during my big rap era. So it's funny that I
Well,
listened
now it's
to.
different though. I mean,
No,
yeah.
no, no, but it's still funny that like, because it's like in Sweden it was like if you listen to like a sort of music, that was kind of the only thing that you were listening to, right? So in Sweden it was basically you were listening like in the '80s it was rock or hard rock, or it was like electronics, like we're talking like Depeche Mode and things like that,
Yeah.
Eurythmics, and so it was super, but they were basically had legit fights, like we're talking about like gangs that were fighting each other,
Yeah.
that was like divided into, so that was just, it's just weird.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Seriously.
no. But it was that was still like I listened to so much music, especially my sister. She was heavily into a lot of the British bands, like the
Yeah.
Smiths, and also a lot of the like glam rock bands, and what else? Depeche Mode, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I listened to so many different kinds of music growing up. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, and then I remember like still we listened to grunge was huge high
Yeah.
school years, and then now I was still like I was like one of the few kids that was listening to a lot of rap, because also I was like visiting the States a lot back then too with my dad. So I was the one, like I bought a bunch of like records that like, yeah, they didn't show up till way later in Europe. So
Yeah.
that's another thing. And like MC Hammer, I had like the MC Hammer
Oh.
album when he completely exploded, and that was like, I think it took about 6 months later it came to Sweden. Same, and
Okay.
another one that was later, that was like the Wu-Tang Clan. I usually like
Yeah.
bought a lot
Wu-Tang.
of US import like CDs and stuff like that. So I usually got like, I listened to music way earlier than it got popular, and like when it comes to rap
Right.
music and stuff like that. Then and a whole lot of, because we just bought albums when we were either in Britain or in the States. Me and my sister bought a lot of music, so like privately
Getting
imported
ahead of
it.
your time.
Yeah, no, I
Getting ahead of
wouldn't
your
say
time.
like, yeah, no, I mean, I would say that we were just fortunate that my dad, like owning a nightclub growing up and things like that, we got exposed to a lot of music early on as well, through that as well, going to concerts and all these things. I mean, I would like, my dad brought us to a concert like Stevie Wonder when we were like, I must have been like 5 years old or something like that. That was not my cup of tea, but like at that
Yeah.
age. But like now, I wouldn't, like Stevie Wonder, like tremendous artist as well too.
Oh,
So
of course. Yeah. One of the great
and
ones.
then something that is completed up, that was really big too. Prince.
Oh, yeah.
Prince
Prince
was
in the '80s.
really
Yeah.
big, but yeah,
Yeah. He
but
was a
that was
rock
more.
band. You could say rock
Yeah,
band, rock pop.
that was more. I wouldn't say like that's more pop and more, and even like he was just combination of everything: blues, rock,
Yeah. Yeah.
R&B. So
Amazing artist.
he was
Amazing
very
artist.
unique when it came to that, just like very different. I mean, it's the same thing walking.
Amazing.
I remember, do you remember his cheekless pants that he used to wear? It's like he was
Yeah. Yeah.
so funny guy,
He was
funny
a
guy.
genius, man. He was a
Yeah, yeah,
genius.
well, yeah, it's
But
crazy.
all right, well
Yeah.
that says it for that, for the '80s rock, folks. Tell us what your favorite band was in the 1980s. Put it in the comment section. Who did you rock out to in the 1980s? Magnus.
And did you have
Anyone?
long hair or not?
Well, I didn't. I had maybe a little
I
tiny mullet, but
No, I never had long hair like that. I was still
yeah,
playing
me
playing
neither.
hockey, and then I pivoted into to football, and with long hair with a helmet on, it
Right,
sucks.
right.
Just in the way.
No, yeah, for sure.
And
All right,
that's
well
like,
said, everybody.
and that's why I have this beautiful bald head nowadays
No, you're doing
instead.
good, baby. You're doing
Yeah,
good. Well, me too. I want to be like you.
yeah.
All right, man. I'm out of here. Thanks, everybody.
Hi
Have a good
guys, have a good
one.
one.
Rock on. Later.